I'm a researcher and I'm an artist, and I work in the space between art, science, and technology. I'm also part of an art collective called C-Lab here in London, and I work and collaborate on projects that merge or bring together scientific inquiry with artistic experimentation, but I particularly focus on plants and also ecology and also biotechnology. So my work or the various outputs that I produce challenges viewers to rethink the relationship between humans, technology, and the natural world. So the work or the project I'm going to speak about today that I'm working on at the moment is about finding a female partner for a really rare and critically endangered plant. The plant that we're looking for is extinct in the wild, so only a male exists, and it was discovered in, as I mentioned earlier, 1895 as a single male, and this plant was removed from the Nagoya forest for safekeeping. This plant is called the E. woodii, but actually it's called Encephalatus woodii, or maybe it's also called Wood Cycad, or E. woodii for short, which is how I will speak about it going forward. And it's a really rare plant that is native to South Africa. And it's part of the Cycad family, and I'm sure some of you may know, but Cycads are referred to as living fossils. And this is because they are the oldest surviving seed plants on our planet. So they've been around for approximately 300 million years at the same, and this was around the time that it wasn't only known as the age of dinosaur, it was also known as the age of cycads. So this approach allows us obviously to explore areas that haven't been explored, and I think it also gives us a better chance to find a female. So what we did when we started the survey, we went on a light aircraft. I think it is called the Rainbow Cheetah. And we flew over the forest and we did an aerial survey, and this gave us information where to carry out these drone missions. So we focused on areas that cycads were most likely to be found. So that was along the forest edges. The drones were flying at about 80 meters high, and what we did, we programmed the drone to fly in a good light pattern, taking thousands of high-resolution photos with the multispectral sensors. And these sensors also capture images across different wavelength bands, even those that we cannot see. So, and what this does, it helps us identify specific features and landscape and distinguish cycads from other plants. As the drone flew, we collected images rapidly, and then we used these images to create detailed mosaic maps of the area. So we can explore these maps by looking at different spectral features and using false colors to highlight certain features that otherwise are not visible. But searching for these maps for individual cycads is quite challenging, especially as we're expanding our search areas, and it can feel like a bit like looking for a needle in a haystack. So to make the search easier and to help accelerate the search, if you like, we turn to AI. So we trained our own image recognition algorithm. So this involved gathering hundreds and thousands of images of cycads from online database, our own images, and okay, this is a bit tedious, but manually labeling each one of them. But what we also did, which was quite interesting, is that we also created synthetic images of these cycads in forest settings to help our model recognize them in different environments. And then we apply these detection methods to our mosaic map that I mentioned earlier, and this kind of automates the process for potential cycad location. It speeds up our search significantly. So to date, we've only surveyed just under 2% of the forest. So that also makes us feel very hopeful that we could potentially find something. What inspired me to work with plants, which is where most of my work stems from, is the fascinating idea that they dominate our Earth, and yet they're often overlooked in favor of more animated life forms. So we often prioritize movement, sound, and we don't really appreciate the thing that remains still or silent. And even though they're critical to all life. And so my work explores, or my interest explores how this paradox, and how plants that are so essential to sustaining life are often dismissed as mere background. So in this project, much of my aim is to reshape my understanding of species extinction and the ecological crisis we face by blending technology, conservation, and art.